You'd like to say about a 4-0 Manchester United home win?
No, I mean, obviously it was a good win. I think coming back in midweek and winning, I think, you know, Ruben Amorim will be happy. I mean, they're a long way off, no doubt about that. But they've gone up, I think, into the top half of the table. I think they're only 4 or 5 points off top 4, which is mad, really. But I don't think they're quite at that level yet to give anybody confidence that they can get there. The teams that are above them, particularly in the top 6, are well ahead of them in terms of performance levels. But you know, I think he'll be happy at the end of his first week of matches.
4-1-0 win today for Amorim is so exciting. What Manchester United fans would have won. 1-1 draw last week at Ipswich is kind of one level of the Premier League. You go away to Arsenal, bang in form, 13 goals in the last 3 games. Martin Odegaard playing right at the top of his game. That is a bigger test, and that will kind of give him a better guide of where this Manchester United team are and where they've got to get to.
That's a big test, though, for Arsenal as well, just a few days after playing.
It is, but I think it's a little soon for Manchester United. Obviously, it's starting to come together slowly. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I think Arsenal, the form that they're in right now, and the spirit of the team right now, this is a good time to play Manchester United. You know, give it a few more weeks. If this kind of new setup United continues to do well, it's a harder game. I just think it's a little... They're going to be a little undercooked going to...
Couple of key players, though, Rebecca. Marcus Rashford, 2 goals at the weekend, 3 under Amorim. Back to his sort of better form is going to be so important. Amad Diallo on the right-hand side. We all wondered about the wing-back positions. Who's going to play there? Who's it going to fit? Diallo looks like a little find. I think he was involved 3 assists at the weekend, and he's going to be a threat. Yeah,
revelation in that position. This time of the season you guys have played, when you get some midweeks and you get the weekends and then you get the heavy pitches and the heavy balls. I mean, I know it's not 1975, but it's still cold. It's still it's kind of in the winter of the season. That is where you do have to maybe adopt a new mindset, Robbie, to get through it?
A little bit. I think the squads now and the rotation that managers use now, Rebecca, helps. You know, a couple of fresh faces will be in the teams. A lot of these teams, there'll be some rotations which help. I think in terms of what it was and what it is now, it's very different. Yeah. I mean, it was bobbly, muddy, cold. It just
black and white.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like that
anymore. The big thing is a professional footballer, Rebecca, is this time everybody else is thinking of parties and Christmas days. You're thinking about points, hard work, and making sure you're not in any trouble.
Didn't you think about you Wimbledon boys and think about parties?
Not.
What do you like about Manchester United under the new coach Ruben Amorim?
Well, we didn't see. We were watching 3 games at once. We didn't see the full game today, beating Everton at home. I think I like that Rashford is on his way back, or it seems that Rashford seems a little... I mean, he needs to smile. I've got to be honest. I want to see him smile when he scores a goal. He scored 3 goals in the last week. I haven't seen him smile yet. I want to see that.
Why does it bother you so much?
I don't know, because I love Marcus Rashford. He used to be so much more smiley back in the day. And I know he's been through, obviously, a tough time form-wise for sure, and who knows what else. But I feel like he looks like he could be starting to find his feet again. And I love that for Ruben Amorim. And I also just kind of like the cut of Amorim's jib. I think he's got kind of success about the guy. You know what I mean?
Gravitas.
Yeah, he's got gravitas, which the previous manager didn't.
Welcome back to Anfield. So Manchester United have scored 3 goals in the first half already under Ruben Amorim. Only got 1 under Erik Ten Hag all season, and they're 2 goals to the good. It's gone down as a Marcus Rashford goal, but it was a well-worked set piece from Manchester United.
It was, yeah. I think it was worked as well, because I think you can see a lot of the Manchester United players almost making an early run. 1 or 2 of them pinning their man. I think Dijk is one of them, pinning Decore, and that just leaves a huge space on the edge of the box for Rashford, who plays a little bit safe. You know, the ball bounces and he just concentrates on keeping the ball down. But you look at all the space he's got in the world there. He does well to keep it down. And when you hit the ball towards goal, and anything can happen, of course. I think, is that just sneaking in? I think it'd be very, very cruel if you didn't give Rashford
you'd be claiming that all day long,
100%. Yeah, 100%.
And we're hearing the new number 2, Carlos Fernandes, is in charge of set plays, and he's getting a bit of credit on the dugout.
Oh, look, the high fives will be going on in this modern world that we live in. Hey, it's cool. I'm all for it. Everton are really strong. Sean Dyche prides himself on getting first contact in the box. It was savvy, it was clever. Marcus Rashford being on the edge of the box, you kind of probably take your eyes off him a little bit. A good ball from Fernandes, and as you say, Michael, there just looked on getting contact into that area. Impossible for Pickford. Braithwaite, it's an honest mistake, isn't it?
And knowing Sean Dyche like we do, he won't want to see this second goal in a hurry from Everton's point of view, will he?
No, this will hurt. This will, because I think Everton started really well. I think they had some great chances on the counter-attack. United didn't look too sure. Great pressing, though. Amorim will be absolutely over the moon with this, and Xerxes, it's a big finish for his team to go 2 up.
Yeah, brilliant pressing from Ahmad, isn't it? He really... Look at that. I mean, he sets off early, he gambles, he leaves his man, actually, and then leaves his second man. I think so.
That's
what
that
we're
forward
talking
thinking,
about.
though, Michael.
Yeah.
That's having trust in the person behind you, meaning you can attack the ball, you can press, and you get results like this. He'll be over the moon with that.
Yeah, Ahmad right on the front foot. Brilliant. That's what caused the opportunity. And Fernandez, when he gets in that situation, he never picks the wrong pass, does he? Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I do think it's flattered them a little bit. I think Everton have been quite good, actually. I mean, they've looked a lot more threatening than I thought they would be. Just the final pass has just not quite been there. But Manchester United, as I said before the game, they're looking only in a small sample, but they're looking much better going forward.
2-0 Manchester United at half-time, 2-0 Chelsea.
Interesting interviews with him and Amorim, both sort of putting a bit of a lid on it, Dean, after the performance, just saying the result was better than the performance. But interesting, Rashford there saying he feels energised under the new manager. Did you see signs of his old self coming back?
Yeah, I saw more of a willing runner. That would be my criticism to him in the last season or so, is that his intensity, both when Man United have the ball and without, he hasn't looked like that player that excited us so much at times in his Manchester United career. Whereas today there was that zip, there was that bit of intensity about his work, and the end product. I have no worries about Marcus Rashford. He's a top talent. He's got every kind of finish you'd want in the book, and he looks calm and confident most of the time when he's in front of goal. So it's more about the intensity and how his body language comes across. You know, it is important, your body language, when you're playing in any side, whether that's for the manager, the fans, your own teammates, yourself. And I think that is hopefully going to build. He's definitely not gone overboard in his interview.
Yeah.
And probably that is because he'll have just sat in the dressing room and the manager will have dampened down the 4-0 win. He'll have talked about the importance of the performance, which wasn't spectacular, and then Marcus has come out and downplayed it as well.
Dean, thanks very much indeed. The goals, just a reminder, from Rashford and Xerxes are on the app. For Marcus Rashford, 2 goals for Joshua Xerxes, and Ruben Amorim has his first 3 points for Manchester United. And by the way, they're now 4 points off the top 4 as it stands at the moment, and into positive goal difference for the first time since August. Manchester United with those 4 goals they've scored against Everton. We'll talk about the implications for Sean Dyche and Everton, but what about Ruben Amorim and Manchester United? Were they very good today, or were Everton very poor?
I didn't think Manchester United were very good at all. You know, once they got those 2 goals in the first half, they looked a lot more comfortable in possession and were able to get through the middle of Everton slightly better. There was moments on the counter-attack where they do look electric, and that's because they've got players there that are very good at that, with the attributes to hurt teams, like Rashford, like Ahmad, and Xerxes in particular, and Bruno Fernandes being the creative player that he is. But it's just, you know, again, look, the stats only sort of highlight kind of what the game was like. So Manchester United with an XG of 0.78, yet they've won 4-0, and Everton 0.65. So there's hardly anything between the XG yet. Manchester